Yeah, hi guys, Matt again, Next 72 Hours. Just near the Dry Creek bed I was at the other day, if you've seen the other video about the little bit of the sump in the bottom of the creek. Recently, a couple of days ago, it rained pretty heavily. We had a storm go through, no call outs for SCS, it was good. About 25 mil of rain around this area. I don't think this particular area got quite so much because we seem to have missed a fair amount of it. Looking at the weather radars, it seemed to bypass us a little bit. Anyway, I just came out to see how it affected the area, and I'll switch to the front camera in a second. It's just got a bit of better resolution than this one. But I thought you guys might want to see my face, or not. But I'll switch to the front camera and show you. You might not be able to pick it up, but it is definitely a little greener. And we'll walk over to the sump and see what's happened over there. I bought a few things. I'll try and dig it out and see how much water we might be able to get from that if we ever found ourselves in a similar situation where there was this dry creek bed, but we're far away from other sources of water. It wouldn't be my first preference. Anyway, so I'll flick around to the other camera and I'll show you around a little bit, and we'll take it from there. Okay, but as you can see, the sump itself doesn't look actually any different, to be honest. No noticeable extra water through. Just had a text come through on my phone. Hopefully that didn't come over on the sound. Pretty sure it probably would have. So if you guys are wondering what that was, that's what it was. Anyway, so I'm going to go down and dig it out. I've got a couple of things I think you might have had on hand if you were sort of out bush possibly to try and do that. I'll switch off now and I'll dig a bit of a hole out and then we'll see how we go. Okay, so I've dug the hole reasonably deep, well, enough to get some decent amount of water in. You can see different sized boulders and lots of leaf matter and came out of the hole. And now I'll try not to drop the camera in here. There we go. And I'll try and show you what's in here. Okay. So you can see you've got a mix of those larger stones that I dug out and these finer pebbles. And there's also layers, been a layer of sort of like pretty clayey mud, but predominantly it's actually quite gritty. So I'm not quite sure what is actually keeping the water from draining away. I'm guessing either a layer of rock at some point. The other day when I poked the stick in the holes, I must have been hitting some of these stones rather than hitting the base rock. So who knows how much water is here, because if the base rock or the impermeable layer, whatever's stopping the water from draining away, it could be feet or meters down, who's to know, in which case this whole area is full of a whole lot of water. But just grab my little makeshift bucket, and you can see there's a fair amount of water just filling up that hole again. And you'll note that I didn't have to wait at all for this water to drain into this. Pretty icky water, but you can filter it out, and you definitely want to boil it, because if you were with me you could smell the sulphurous smell, which means that there's anaerobic digestion going on, which would be all the leaves rotting away, producing that sort of methane smell. All the smells that come with anaerobic digestion, at least some sort of sulphurous reaction, which anaerobic bacteria are not so good for people, obviously. It's what gives us those nasty belly reactions and vomiting and diarrhea and all that sort of thing, depending on what they are. Okay, so what I might do is just try and attempt a little basic filtering. I'm not going to drink the water. If I was in a desperate situation, I'd filter it out and I'd try using my live straw, and preferably boil it, but anyway, we'll see what we can do for cleaning that up a little bit. Okay guys, so what I've done is I've grabbed an old shirt from home, so I had this plan in mind. Right next to me here, some cutting grass. I grabbed a couple of these long strands of cutting grass. I got a sort of like a serrated edge on either side. Split one of these down the middle. These roots here, where the water's been undercutting, sort of formed this nice natural little shape here for the shirt. And what I've done is just tie a knot on the bottom where the neck and the sleeves were. Poked a few holes in with my little my gerber here, and the serrated edges grab the material and sort of bind it a little better. As you can see, it's not a beautiful piece of work, but the only thing you really need to be careful of is the knots here. Is you don't want to make super tight knots because they will break. You just sort of lash them loosely and they sort of grab themselves. See that one? They just sort of lash loosely. Anyways, it's fine. It's holding quite a bit of weight. What I've done is I've cut this lid off this V, the top off the V, and I'll just top up this a bit more in a minute. But you can see here that the water's flowing quite nicely. You see where some of the water's coming through quite cleanly, and whereas from higher up the water's coming through a bit dirty. You'll find with as you use the filter, the fine particulates will block the material, and you'll actually get cleaner water for a period of time, and then the filter will promptly stop working. You'll have to clean it out. Getting a bit of water on the bottom. You can see it's still pretty muddy, but you just take the larger stuff out. Anyway, so I'm going to top that up, and we'll see how much water we can get out of that, and then we might let it settle for a bit and see how clear it is. Okay, so catch you soon. Okay, so what I've done is I've filled that up quite a lot. You can see it's not too far from the rim. The reason why I've done that is the weight of the water on top will force the water through the filter faster, and we'll get better results. Also, if we have a situation where we're relying on water seeping through, it gives us, basically as we remove the water here out of the hole, it allows time for the water and the surrounding sand and sand or soil or whatever it is to soak through and soak into that centre hole there. So anyway, just wanted to point that out. Gravity just is working in your favour a little bit here. Now you can see the drips missing the bucket. Now I've got a smack load of water here, so it's not going to be an issue if a few drips fall off. But if you didn't have much water at all and you wanted to ensure that all of it went in the bucket, one way you could do that is I've got this old plastic bag which is sort of next to useless for anything else. It's got holes and stuff in it. We can actually just put it around the outside and catch those drips and then force them through into one location. So I'll show you how I'll do that. Okay, all I've done is secure the plastic bag around the outside of the shirt. You can see the water's sort of leaking out in about the right location anyway, but it's filling up a little bit more than it's leaking, so I'm going to just puncture a little hole in it so I know that it's going to come out. Ooh, see, there we go, it's coming out where I don't want it. Oh, it's a bit hard to do that one-handed, so I'll just put the camera down and I'll get now. That's dripping really nicely. The bag itself doesn't carry any weight, so you really don't need to secure it that well. All I've done is sort of hook it up one side, not even really carrying any weight that side, and just lash it with a bit of the same cutting grass as I did before, that side, and there we go. And then we've got quite a bit of water, not looking that great, but anyway, we'll have a look in a second. Okay, so we've got almost a full container of water. What I'll do now is I'll strip this down and I'll invert the shirt so we can see just in this one batch how much mud we've removed or what we've actually taken out. And also put some of that water in a bottle and we'll see, let it settle over a period of time. So I'll get onto that now. It's bad I'm not drinking that, let's put it that way. Took a fair amount out, and that was only one wash through. If we'd used that like over a period of time, that definitely would have taken more out than that. You'd have to periodically clean it. I've grabbed myself a sample, a bottle of water. Over here you can see that it's very similar in colour to the surprise to the dirt over here. And it's a very sort of like clayey touch, clayey sedimentary, fine sedimentary feel. So I'm not quite sure how long that's going to take to settle out, but we'll take it home and I'll put it up somewhere and I'll time it and see how long it happens, how long it takes. Anyway, I hope you guys found that interesting. I actually quite enjoyed it. It's a nice way to spend a Saturday morning. And we'll see you at home. Bye. Hi guys, yep, it's 3 o'clock and I got home about 12 o'clock. So you can see that it's been 3 hours settling away there, and you can see at the bottom that some of the heavier muddy particles have come to the bottom, but it's still pretty murky. So I'm not sure how well it will be if I leave it overnight. We'll see tomorrow. Sunday morning, so about just after 7. Yeah, couldn't sleep in this morning, would have been nice, but you can see that it's still pretty murky. You might not be able to pick up on the camera, but you can, the sediment at the bottom is more defined. It is slightly clearer, but if you were going to use UV to sterilise the water, obviously that is not suitable. You need to be able to see through the bottle in order to use UV from the sunlight to sterilise water. That's not going to work. So we'll go ahead and try a few different ways of filtering this to see if we can get that a bit clearer. Okay, so I'll do those in a different video set, so keep an eye out for those. And catch you guys later.